Hello, good evening, friends. How are you?
We are good. How are you?
Hi, good evening, Deepak. How are you doing?
For you.
Yeah, I am also fine. I'm quite tired. Today I went to the shopping and I had to buy a wireless headset. And interesting, I did some research. The demand of wireless headphones has been significantly increased in the last few years. It has been kind of basic need for people nowadays. So, do you think you have other things like that in high demand for the recent few years?
Even I went for shopping last week and I have seen there is a huge demand of smartwatches. Everybody has smartwatches on their wrist. Everybody is tracking the calories and their heart rate, even the pulse rate. They are very conscious about their health and they want to track it and want to be fit and they want to live a healthy life.
Yeah, Deepak, I agree with your points for wireless headphones and even Gurkaran, the smartwatch are in trend, but the prices are sky high for both of the products and brands. But from I think so, electric cars are getting quite high in prices and demand from 2010 to till now 2024. Even companies like Mercedes and other brands from fossil fuel cars, they are shifting to electric cars, and even new brands like Tesla and Rivian have started manufacturing electric cars. The price of the products is also quite sky high, but there is still quite high demand for this. Anyone else would want to put some light on this topic?
I am just wondering that how was Deepak shopping so far? It seems like it has been good, and he had found out a lot of things, and he had given us an insight and given us the opportunity, I should say, to think about it. That that really that all these things have increased, their demand has increased so far and so well that we're talking about those things and we're mentioning about it also. That the the demand for Tesla cars, the headphones, like smart watches. But apart from these, what I feel is that being as an international student, as we all are international student, what I have seen is there has been a substantial increase. What I felt that has been a substantial increase in the household growth even. That once since the time we have been landed over here, what I've seen, there is an increased demand for the houses, and even though there is a shortage also. But what make me think is that it cannot happen in just a one day, or it has not happened in today's era. And this practice has been into the market, or this trend has been of increasing demand for household. It's been in the market for a decade. And after analyzing it and having a detailed thought about it, what I have seen and what I've observed also, that the growth and the number of housing for the adult people is generally high in comparison to the Z generation.
Yeah, I also heard the news of crisis of housing in Canada. In my
Yeah.
back when I had research about my rental property or something like that. Yeah, but I guess Puneet, I think electric vehicles have suited really in this high demand in the recent markets, right?
Yes, there is a very high demand for the electric vehicles in the market.
Yeah, and their demand is increasing day by day.
Guys, but what I am concerned about it, if you see that what could be the factors that are responsible for the increase in demand for the electronic vehicles?
Hitesh, I think so. The innovation is the major factor affecting the demand for the electric vehicles, as they are very spacious and there are multiple features are being provided in the electric vehicles, tablet, wireless charging, and many more features are being provided in the electric vehicles over the fossil fuel cars. What do you all think?
Deepak, Hriday Puneet, I must say that you have forgotten about one thing, but I have got an insight from your point, that how can we miss about the environmental obligation?
Yes,
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, this is
exactly.
that's how we can be missing about the environmental obligation, which is the moral, which is should that is the moral obligation, that we all are living on the planet Earth, and we have to. There has been a huge implication, has been effects of the global warming that has been in the trend, and we have been talking about it. Moreover, we have been making the producers and the consumers aware about it, that what are we looking forward and that we should be protecting our mother earth. But now what we see is, with the innovation in technology and development, that the producers have come down with such a technique, such an eco-friendly product, that we can use it effectively and efficiently also.
Yeah, that's a point, very valid point, Hitesh. I think I would like to add some of the things regarding government policies and reforms. I think the government policies, like as you mentioned, eco-friendly to products should be favored because it obviously the protection of environment is the government's policy. So electric vehicles should certainly promote that thing. So I think the government reforms and policies would definitely help the rise of demand of electric vehicles in any country, I guess.
But what are the real factors that led to change in demand of these?
Deepak, would you put some light on this?
Yeah, I think price is one of the major factor that would affect the demand of that electric vehicle. If the price is cost effective and as it is eco-friendly, people would definitely go for the electric vehicles rather than fossil fuel, because in the end, in the ultimatum price, you don't need to buy fuels or gas for the smooth operation of your vehicle. So I think in the future term, electric vehicles are rather good options than anything else.
True,
Yeah,
true,
Deepak,
Deepak, true.
I do agree with the price factor, but I think so there are other factors as well affecting this. For example, the consumer taste and preferences of buying a consumer good, because a person would want to drive electric vehicle, want a quiet ride to place A to place B, would prefer electric cars, and the number of consumer buying electric cars also affects. The reviews also affect in this
Yeah.
of people buying more electric cars. Even the expectation of future prices going up or high also affects the sales of the electric cars. And the external shock would be like natural disaster and pandemic as well.
Great,
So,
Ardip. I have never ever thought about it the way that you have mentioned about it. I must say that.
Yeah, especially
yes,
that non-pandemic part.
yes.
Yes,
Uh,
exactly. We have never ever thought about it.
Yeah. And the one question I have want to ask is how flexible you are in the terms of demand for both above mentioned categories of goods, and what factors can make you flexible in?
I think people are flexible to buy electric cars because most people use their cars to move from their home to their offices and they follow the same route. But electric cars are very cheap and they provide better efficiency in very less amount. Therefore, people are moving towards the electric cars rather than any other fossil fuel cars.
Yeah, exactly, Gurkaran. I think electric vehicles have been kind of, vehicles have been kind of a basic need for every people nowadays, especially in developed countries. So, okay, I have another thing in mind. Do you have anything other than electric vehicles that you can compare that has significant rise in the demand of the product?
You've really made me think, Deepak, about never thought about it, but if I put it's very challenging nowadays to have a substitute for the electric vehicles if I talk about. But if I say that what I have observed, that in the past few years, that as it was being mentioned by the statistical data of Hirday Puni, that he has been very clear and precise, that he have mentioned about it, that the electronic vehicles have drastically shoot up in comparison if you talk about with other products such as grocery, clothing, electronic items. But what I feel is that there is an evolution that has happened in a human life cycle, which has moreover benefited our ecosystem, that is our planet earth, or which is on which we are surviving, and we have to have certain moral obligations, and we have sustained it and we have done well according to it.
Exactly.
Yes,
Yeah.
definitely, exactly.
I agree.
Don't you all agree with that?
Yes,
Exactly.
definitely.
That's a very valid point.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. But what made me think ahead of it, that it may be crazy, what if we think about it, is there is a possibility to quit this?
Yeah, Hitesh,
Is
I
there any,
think so.
is there really a possibility to quit this? That's what I was thinking about it.
Yes, I think so. We can definitely quit on this if, as we are already used to using fossil fuel vehicles and the services, transport services which being provided by the government, we can go back to those services and quit on electric vehicles. What do you all think?
I think electrons are very fun to drive. The drive is very pleasurable. We can get the feeling of a sports car, a very cheap car, and also their fuel efficiency is mind blowing. The cost of the charging the car is very minimal, and they run so softly on that. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think people will move to electric car rather than.
exactly. Gurkar and Vidya Punit. I would like to add some things on. Is it possible to quit? I think it's possible to quit, but the electric vehicles are possibly for the
Yes,
future
Yes.
projects. Like the apps and the electric vehicles. They are especially projected for our future things. So I think it can be substituted, but I don't think it's impossible to live without electric vehicles, I guess.
Yeah. Yes,
great,
definitely.
great.
Great, great, great. Thank you for all of your points. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.